Everywhere. Oh
You're
yeah,
not
we're
live on
everywhere.
YouTube.
We are live on Twitter right now. Yo, that part's
Dude,
working.
we're live on Rumble. We're live on YouTube. We are
Twitter.
live on Twitter. It looks like we got one person in each one too. I think already.
What?
Hey guys, if you guys
Yeah.
are out there and can hear us, give us a comment in the chat somewhere and let us know that you hear us, because we got the whole damn squad live right now.
By the way, YouTube is not live. It just says upcoming.
Give it just a second. It does take a little bit of a delay too. Remember?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So we'll see.
I see connectivity everywhere.
Sometimes it's a significant delay, so we'll have to give it a second.
Where's
YouTube.
Big Daddy at?
Oh, we are live on YouTube. I'm looking at it right now.
Tyler, where are you at?
I'm right here.
Where's
I'm
your
here,
camera?
sir.
We are live.
Yeah.
Did my camera go somewhere? Hold on. I will fix this.
On
On my end, my camera looks fine.
Well, yeah, but you don't see a camera anywhere on in the squares. Do you see you in the Hollywood squares?
I mean, yeah, in the web browser.
Why don't I see you in the Hollywood squares?
Yeah, you don't see me either.
Oh, you have me as auto. So I don't know how that works.
Solo. Then me and
Where am I at? I don't even see me anymore either.
I don't know. I didn't.
I think we
anything.
got too many
Anywhere.
people, dude.
I'm here, but yet I don't see.
have you in auto.
That's so bizarre.
This is wild. Well, we're figuring out Rumble. It looks like we have two people in Rumble. If somebody's in Rumble, leave a comment in the chat.
Go ahead.
Oh, it looks like we're on Twitter live.
Yep.
So we're everywhere.
We are everywhere right now. It's working, guys. It's working. Knock on wood.
Well, let me go ahead and do the intro. Hey, everybody. In case you haven't known, this is the Linux Tube, and we are a Linux-centric channel on YouTube, but we've recently come over to Rumble, and through the Rumble Studio, we're now able to broadcast to multiple platforms. So we should be broadcasting to Facebook. We should be broadcasting to X or Twitter, YouTube, and Rumble all at the same time. This is our community cast, which is where we meet up in our Discord, the Linux Tube or TLT Discord, and we get together and talk all kinds of different things. So we have lots of fun. We kick it. It doesn't always have to be Linux, but we are all a bunch of Linux nerds, and that's what we do. So we got the posse together. We've got, I don't know why Tyler isn't on camera, but we're trying to figure this out. Been trying to come over to Rumble for a while and stream over here. It's pretty interesting, and it's something to get used to new. So
I don't see us live on Facebook.
Okay. I'm not worried too much about Facebook.
I was just letting you know.
But either way, it's exciting to be here. It's exciting to actually get out here and do an actual live. The other day we figured it out, but it was cut short. So, but here we are. Gang, say hi.
Hello.
Hello, everybody out there.
Howdy.
Greetings from the Redwoods.
Greetings from the Redwoods. Yes, we're from all over the world, and basically, we just all get together with our love for Linux, and that's what we deal with. And then Jacob just left.
Of course he did. Oh boy.
His camera always cuts in and out. But either way, so I guess we'll start off with a pretty blanket topic. Plasma 6. Who's played with Plasma 6?
I have.
Jonathan
I'm actually running it right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm on it as well.
Are you really, Arch?
Yeah, I'm on. I actually got it to work on NixOS and Arch both. Yeah.
Plasma 6 on NixOS. How was that experience?
It was actually pretty easy, to be honest. Literally, I just updated my channels, to unstable. And after doing that, I literally went in there, changed the 5 to a 6 and did a rebuild. And here we are.
Nice. Is it as buttery smooth as everybody says it is?
It is. It is actually really nice. Obviously, it definitely has a ways to go, like in as far as a little bugs and stuff. I think that's just kind of the way that they do it, when they first release it, there's a few things that need to get worked out. But other than that, Yeah, it's nice. It's like butter
It's like butter, huh? That's what I heard. I heard it's
on Wayland too. Yeah, it's,
extremely smooth. And from what I understand, it defaults to the actual Wayland config the Wayland first, but you still can actually.
Yep. Am I the only one that just lost his audio?
yeah. I don't hear him either.
Alex,
Yeah, lost the audio.
we want your audio.
You muted yourself.
Here, I can unmute him.
Got nothing.
Yeah,
wait.
I mean,
Oh, no.
inside of this thing,
Yeah.
he's got himself muted.
Yeah, there's a little button down at the bottom
Yep.
that looks like a microphone. You just
Yep.
click that, and you'll be good again.
Yep. Okay, he said, hang on. You know, this is definitely a very practical and normal Linux stream for you. The first hour of it is figuring out how to go live. Absolutely. I love it. It wouldn't be a Linux stream
Troubleshooting
without
and
it.
fixing bugs.
It wouldn't be a Linux stream without it.
If you look on my stream, I'm showing you where the button is. See my screen down there?
Yeah, we hear you.
I can't see anything that
Yeah, we
Arch
can't
is
make
doing.
the screen bigger, unfortunately. So it's hard to see.
It's down at the bottom. Underneath everybody, there's
All the way at the bottom in the middle,
Yep.
there's an icon on the left out of the 4 that are down there. Click it. There you go. But
You
I don't know.
are alive, I think.
I'm just trying to figure out why I ain't on camera.
Yeah, like for real.
Yeah, now my icon is gone. Oh, Jacob, that's why. Okay. Linux gamer.
Man.
I'm gonna kill my camera and see if it sends you up there.
Yeah, and I can't even click on the screen. Like, for
Alex is gone, and now there's just 3 of us, and the big blue fat man's there. Oh, now we got 4.
That's very odd. Well, it's a little buggy.
Oh, that's
Oh,
all right.
Just
yeah,
putting
figure it
user
out.
space. And there's also some customization once you go on a paid plan of the and that's like $10 a month. You can completely customize your color, your layout, all of that
Oh.
on
okay.
the. So you can have custom, like even the little triangle symbol there for Rumble. All of that can be your custom color.
yeah, cool. Okay.
Okay. So
Hmm.
I gotta say, I feel bad for giving so many people crap about Arch for like the last year.
No, you
And
don't.
You've done it for a year,
I have.
and now you're getting a guilty conscience.
I am.
That's
Absolutely.
because he's
I
on
am.
Arch now.
I am. I'm back on Arch again, and because OpenSUSE was doing some stuff that was not making me happy, and yeah,
And you decided you were just too good to come over to NixOS.
absolutely,
I get it.
absolutely. I mean, in reality, it's honestly because like I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to Nix. Truthfully, I mean, like I understand like some of it, but like I need to play with it more before I actually do it. Or I don't know.
Just actually use it. Just try using it.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna lie. Like that's how you'll actually have the best time with it.
Okay.
If you try to actually implement it.
You know,
And that's what's really hard to like tell people Like, don't try distributions and try to get like a feel for them in a virtual environment. Like, you're way more likely to run into issues and bullcrap that you would never deal with in an actual environment because it's in a virtual machine. And especially if you're trying out something to like see if it's a good replacement for your desktop. Like, you won't know until it boots up on bare metal. Because like you may have some weird UFI crap that like you got to deal with. Whatever. Like, I mean, a good example would be like, all right, so like, let's say you're new to Windows, you try out, play with a whole,
Right,
or you're
right.
new from Windows, you try out a whole bunch of crap in VMs, have a great time. You're like, all right, I've picked this distro, it works just fine, I know it's reliable. Then you try booting it up and you still have secure boot on.
Right.
And you just don't know about like secure boot really being a thing or like have ever thought about it before. And you're like, what the? So I guess it's just my ISO's broken. Like, it's those things you can't test out in a distro. And NixOS also, just so you know, is one of the ones. It's okay in a VM.
I remember
But-
attempting
It's
it.
so much better on bare metal, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like night and day. I was like, oh, this is so much better. Why didn't I do this to begin with?
I mean, my big thing was, I think I was just resisting change heavily, and I still am, because, right, I've always been used to doing Linux the Linux way, right, which means typically you just edit your files however you want. Which you can do in Nix, right? But it's all in one spot. It's not like, and it's not in a bunch of different places like it is in Linux, right? It's almost like to me in my brain, for some reason, it seems to understand it like this. I spent so many years, taking the time to learn where everything's at, learn how to configure things. But now they come up with a distribution. We can in 2 separate files do everything on the system. It's like it's almost like maddening.
Well, if you don't like that, and like and this is something like I don't do it this way because I have fully converted to the Nix way of doing things, but the perfect middle ground, and like I know people make arguments for like Ansible for this, but there's actually a technical reason why you shouldn't go the Ansible route, and it actually is not a good method for trying to recreate NixOS. But you can't just use Home Manager and have Home Manager copy folders for you. So like you can have a .config folder with all of your custom configs, and then all the other like SDDM theme spots, fonts, all that stuff put in one folder, and then just symlinked out to the system. So it's all still the exact same like format, and the folder names and all that stuff are still the same. So it's really not that big of a conversion. But if you think about it, having it all centralized is a better thing too, because you can back it up easier. Because if it's just one folder and it's pretty small, like you can zip it up and you can send it over Discord. Like you can do pretty much anything.
I know, Tyler. I'm having an old man moment, right? Like even though I'm young, I'm having an old man moment where it's just like I don't want to accept change.
And
That's what this is.
It's the same thing with HipDev and like even getting a new. I told him I was like, I'd even help you buy a new GPU, and he's like,
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, I know what that's coming from. That's just like, do I really want to change it out? Like it's fine where it is. Like, I get it.
Oh, let's take a look over at people on YouTube. There's somebody named Associate Minister and Reserve Deacon, Mr. Terry Jones. Hello there. There's Josh
It's a long
Winters.
username, but it's a good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying. I love that username. I'm just saying.
I'll be right back. I gotta go walk the dog, so I'll be back.
Okay. See you in a minute.
All right.
But we cannot hear you, Alex. But yeah, I mean, let's see. You could go in your settings and then of the browser and make it where you don't have permissions to use a mic and like disable that, and then go in and re-enable it. Try that if you haven't done that already. Okay. Lack of faith, lack of knowledge, lack of experience, lack of preparation, listening to someone too scared to get into the game of life. I look at this, and honestly, I do have a few of those. Specifically, I don't have the knowledge for Nix yet, right? Because it is fundamentally quite different than many different other Linux distributions and the way that it functions, right? Like, yeah, there's even a whole argument where some people try to say it's not a Linux distribution, like typically, like, yeah, I don't buy that, but it's just,
Well, okay.
yeah.
Well, all right. See, here's the thing. I don't buy it because it is a Linux distro, but
Right,
also at
that's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
time, holy crap! Like you can't talk about it like it's any other Linux distro, because what other Linux distro uses systemd where you like systemctl enable works, but it doesn't work?
Right.
Like that's kind of weird. And then there's a
What do
whole
you
bunch of
mean?
other crap like that. Well, you can run systemctl enable and it will work. Like I'm like 99% sure the command will work just fine on NixOS. No problem.
So, real quick,
But-
low light. Were you wanting clarification on what we're talking about?
Yes, when he said that it would work, but it wouldn't work.
Yeah, the command will not throw errors because systemd is installed. It can enable a service. The problem is if you rebuild the system, which means you change or edit any of your configs, that's the newly built generation of that system does not have that enabled service in it. So it will no longer be enabled. So it doesn't really work. And there's a whole bunch of those like weird oddities with NixOS where to enable a service, it's an option. You do it in a file. You do it all declaratively. And that's where it's like, that's what makes it really hard to call it a Linux distro, because it is at the heart just another Linux distro, but you can't use it. Like, I mean, even the file system is completely and utterly ridiculously different, which is good in some aspects, horrible in others. So,
Well, I could vouch for that. I'm pretty new, a few months in, about 4 months now. I went to my bin folder expecting to see all of my programs in there, and it was just like a freaking link in there. I was like, "What the hell?" Yeah, I didn't know what the Nix store was or any of that at the time. It was just, it was like, I went into this like kind of reluctant, thinking, I'll just try it out. But I kind of fell in love with it. I mean, I use it differently than you do, Zany. I don't use Flakes or Home Manager or any of that stuff. I just use the one config, add what I need to it, and it works. So
yeah, I mean, I had one guy message me and tell me he was a what was it? What did he say? He called himself a perpetual distro hopper, and he had over 2023 had switched distros 6 times, and like every time, like he always set like a certain length and like would stick to using it. And he said every distro he had tried using felt like he was being forced to make a commitment to try and give it a chance and like actually work with it and like it. And he said when he used NixOS, he doesn't know anything about programming, definitely not like Nix. He has no interest in like really messing around a ton with like config files and doing ricing and like all that kind of stuff. And also it has some specific work utilities that need to run. And he's had no issues with the programs that he needs to use. And he said, even though he's not interested at all with Nix or anything, using the Nix packages search and options has been plenty to get himself working and being just fine. So
Thank you, Joshua. Go ahead.
Wait, what happened?
The guy on
Oh.
YouTube. You're good. Go ahead, Tyler.
I thought someone had fixed an issue with Alex's audio, and you were thinking,
So
I was
let me
like,
ask
oh, I
you
need to
this.
shut up so Alex can stop. I know.
Hey,
Yes,
Actually,
do you
give
think
me just a
that
second.
a person who is struggling with Nabara, right, needs help. Do you think that a person who's fresh from Windows, as fresh as I am, could go to something like a NixOS or an Arch and actually be able to use it, or is it just gonna have its way with me.
I see. The thing is I everyone's different. If you're interested in actually spending the time to create something that, like, if you go into Nix with a mindset like you're building a house that you're going to invest time with up front, and then you won't have to do that the next time you buy a whole new computer or you decide to get a server or whatever, like, you're probably going to have a really good time with it. And if you're not super new with Nix, I've kind of told a few people this, like, you're actually probably better off, because as like Jonathan was saying, like, he's got to relearn a whole bunch of crap. And like, to somebody who's already familiar, like, they know all the basics, having to go back to the basics is not an appealing idea.
Absolutely.
Boy, I think you called that just right. And not only do you have to learn something new, you have to unlearn
Yep.
some stuff in order to use Nix, I think, because like the hierarchy of, the folder structure is just different.
Yeah.
So when you're expecting something to work a certain way, that you've been using Debian and Arch and all these other distros that I've used over the years, it just doesn't work that way. It's just like you said, it's like a little module that you would paste into your config in order to enable services and that type of thing. You got your options, and then you got your programs, and
Well, and I mean, also think about it like this: if you install packages on most other Linux distros, you install the package. Like, you need to know the package name. You got the package name, you got
Yep.
program installed.
Right.
Everything's good. Then you configure it, set it up, whatever. On NixOS, you can install a package, and it installs because they have it in the Nix packages. But then go to configure it and be like, I don't know, but I'm getting this weird error. And then find out that all of the descriptions on NixOS keep referring you back to a NixOS module. And hopefully you're lucky enough to think to go to the Nix packages search and search it, and then see the options and click that and be like, oh, there's just 5 options for configuring it. Like, you can't even, because the file system's so different, the program can't be configured the same way. Like, and that's true with a lot of programs, especially ones that like
Now,
start
Nix-
services and do that stuff.
Now, Nix is considered the spiritual successor to Arc.
Or
People-
we've said that.
Yeah, some
We are
people
the one that
say
said that,
that. Nix as a like organization, like, or as an ecosystem. No, not really. NixOS is purely just because I mean, it's been around for 10 years, like maybe even plus, but it's really just an ecosystem that came out of the programming language and the package manager. It really is not trying to compete with anything. It's something totally of its own. And to be fair, the first time I tried out NixOS, I mean, it was like probably a couple of years ago, and I said it was cool, but there's nothing really practical about it that like I could benefit from and I need, because I didn't really get the whole reproducibility thing. I wasn't doing anything like ZanyOS or even really sharing good dot files at that point, so it just didn't really make sense. And now, even if you're not doing the things that I'm doing, like sharing configuration, you probably have more than one computer. Like, it makes sense. Like, you could just make one config, make one for your mom, like whoever, deploy it on every machine. And when someone has a problem, like, well, they won't, because it's all configured. I mean, if they need something done, you do it for them. They never have to do anything themselves. System stays clean, managed. They don't have any updates that break stuff. Like, it's a beautiful system. So
Yeah,
Well, I might try that. I think Associate Minister Reserve said we must remember that Linux is a bunch of different screwdrivers, flathead, Phillips, and the torque. Pick the right distro for a right use case.
You know, I just want to comment real quick. I agree with that to some extent, but I'm also going to challenge that ideology, because I know for me, and I've been around in the Linux ecosystem for a long time, I'm just kind of at the point of calling Linux, and I build whatever I want. into whatever I want it to be because I know what I want.
Right.
Yeah. There's no end to what you can use. It's really just it comes down to whether or not you need a lot of reproducibility, because Nix kind of does take that to a whole nother level, but most people don't need that. Like, I mean, for example, let's say your whole family doesn't really eat. Let's just say, for example, just perfect example, your whole family's Amish. You're the only person in the family who uses a computer. Okay, like in that example, if you only have one computer for yourself, I mean, you could run 1,000 different things. Everything, whatever suits your fancy is great, and nothing coming about like with reproducibility is really going to benefit you. Like, you're fine. But if you're like me and have to manage a whole bunch of systems for everybody else, like, yeah, my family's slowly migrating to NixOS because I can just control the configs and leave outwards. And then when they buy new computers, I mean, it's a super easy process to set back up. So,
Yeah, as a new Nix user, I can vouch for that. It was, I mean, it literally, I started on a testing like a SATA SSD, just a 128, just to, because I wanted to try it on bare metal, and I was like, man, this is really good, and I'm gonna put it on my secondary NVMe. Like, I kind of just moved it up to now it's my main drive, and all seamless. Just literally just use the same config and rebuild it, and I'm like back up and running with all my programs. It's crazy. I just can't even believe it.
I mean, we may be talking up NixOS here, but like, I don't even know if my grandmother's gonna let me take off Fedora from her machine. She loves her Fedora laptop. Like, she's like, it's slow as crap. It's an old, horrible laptop, and she's like, it's great. She loves it.
I mean, hey, Fedora can make a lot of things seem okay.
Yeah, well, Fedora is really good.
Yeah.
And I installed it because it was like, I think it was like the only thing on Ventoy that would load for some reason on the laptop or whatever. So like, I installed it, and she's like, she really liked the UI. She was like, it seems like it's dumbed down. And I was like, don't say that. And I was like, there are some people, like, just don't go around saying that. There are some people who get very offended by that. She's like, well, it's got the big icons.
I take it you were using the GNOME version, the fact that she said that.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to be sure we're on the same page.
Yeah,
I mean,
she meant that in the sense it had
wrong.
Yeah. I mean, she meant that in the sense it had big icons, and there wasn't like a whole bunch of buttons all over the place. Like, it was clean. And like, if I tell her I'm going to put something else, she's going to be like, "Is it going to look the same?"
So what about like Linux, like touchscreen tablet type utility?
Oh, yeah, they work.
I recommend people use GNOME if they're going to do that. Honestly,
yeah, I'd agree with that. I almost think that's why I would ever use GNOME. Would be a touchscreen. Otherwise, I don't see I mean, I don't hate on it. It's just, it seemed like it would be better on a touch interface to me.
Well, touchscreens and gesture support is way better.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I would argue that I would use it on like an art tablet almost, right? Like a 2-in-1.
Yeah,
I could see that being like the primary target for like user base for GNOME.
I honestly don't know why we don't get good like Qualcomm, like Snapdragon devices with like GNOME on them. Be nice.
I mean, heck, they could even just use GNOME OS if they don't want the rest of the ecosystem. Like, GNOME OS is 100% a real thing.
I have one of those old Snapdragon tablets on a loop. It's stuck in a loop, and
you have it on boot
put
looping.
something on. So, what'd you say, Jonathan?
You were saying that it's on a boot loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of pictures on there of my old dog that I want to have.
You're back.
It's
I
not
think
your
it, Alex,
mic,
is
man. I
still
think
not
it's
able to
Rumble, to be
talk.
honest.
Hey. Hello, hello.
No, he has not figured it out.
I think it's
I mean,
Rumble, not your mic.
I don't know if we need to go offline back to Discord or what.
Hey, Alex,
I mean, it was
message
just
me what you
on
want to
the
do.
stream anyway, so maybe we should
Yeah.
go back to. Oh, he says he's going to fix it.
Oh wait, hold on. I've got a message I didn't even look at.
I wonder if the cat walked over the cable and pulled it out.
He's messaging me. Give him a second.
Okay.
We'll see what he says. But,
Jacob,
go ahead.
now you had tried Nix OS and you said you were having problems with it. What kind of problems were you having?
Okay, we'll do that, Alex. We're just going to keep on going.
What-
Brave just won't reset his permissions for his mic for some reason. Okay.
Try doing a full scale reboot.
Thing is, it's going to kill the stream if it does.
Unplug the
Yeah.
mic and plug it back in. Oh,
Alex is so good at talking. Like
I
this.
just know that
He
without
said he
Alex,
tried.
it makes the whole stream. And if Alex is not going to be here,
You know, we do definitely need the Alex man here.
This is true.
I mean, he's here in spirit.
I mean, and man, he has won a hot spirit. Just saying, we all agree on that, right?
Yeah, I was actually like just
the
now
beauty,
feeling
though,
the
is-
tingles.
Right.
Oh,
the
God.
beauty is we can talk shit about him now, and he can't do anything about it.
Oh,
Except
you are absolutely
Oh, that's
correct.
true. That's
Oh
true.
man,
Yeah,
am
I mean, dude,
so
there has
tired
been
of him
some.
calling me like randomly 2:00 in the afternoon when I'm sleeping. Oh boy.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of having to call him because I'll send him Discord messages, text messages. I don't get anything. Then I have to like literally call his phone, be like, "Buddy, yo, are you okay?"
I mean, hey, and I just got to roast him a little bit. Yesterday, he said, "Oh, my voice hurts too much." Yeah, we sat there for 2 hours. His voice was just fine halfway through. That's it was so messed up, right?
I thought this was a family show.
did you look at my name?
I mean, as
Look
long
at
as the
my
family's all
It's
grown
not
up.
a family show.
Oh, I mean, I
Alex
love
said I could do it. Alex said, yes, you can put whatever name you want. I don't care
Hey.
what it is. So I put King Asshole. I'm number
I
one.
love it. I love it. You know, I think
But I'm
that
going
might
to
be the
change
new
my
name.
name eventually on Discord to Linux Asshole. I'm just
I mean-
thinking about it.
Or we could combine the name Blue Man and this nickname and make it Blue that.
Blue Asshole?
Yes.
Yeah, but the problem with that,
Ugh.
I don't like being Blue Man.
Oh, well, too bad. You're going to love it.
No, I'm going to fix that once I can pay my power bill and how much money I have left. I'm fixing that. I'm getting a lamp or some kind of light thing to put up here to shine down on me so I'm not blue.
I'm just playing.
Well,
He knows that.
I mean, actually, I think you can fix. I mean, like if you have blue asshole, I think that's more like you just need to stop eating all the blue airheads.
Right?
Like,
Right?
and like seriously, if it's that bad, like you're eating a lot of them,
Like-
seek
like-
help.
Like, man, honestly, I'm not. Yeah, I was gonna say like, if it's blue, I'm not even sure if like you could possibly do that with blue airheads. So like,
Be careful saying stuff like that because there's definitely going to be one like. And the sad part is he'll be like actually like middle aged. He'll be like 46 and be like,
oh,
I
Alex, I
wonder
love that.
how
Yes,
many?
absolutely. Alex
Really,
here.
Alex?
It's rare, but
Really?
it says
Yeah.
here on John Hopkins that blue asshole is a condition. It is serious, and you need to seek medical help when you. All joking
Yeah, but-
aside,
Could you
I'm
describe it in
blue
detail?
because I don't have enough lighting in here. And the way my lighting is, it makes me look blue. And it's a
Wait.
cheap webcam.
What is it caused by?
Yeah, exactly.
not eating it.
Love it,
Oh,
Alex.
message
not
from Alex,
eating the
by the way.
blue.
Did y'all read the chat message?
Oh yeah. Alex can be our mod for the day. We can finally switch spots. Woo woo!
Yeah, Alex can be the mod.
Nice.
Everybody's pretty much agreed that Mint is kind of like the easiest plug and play,
Yeah.
Windows noob friendly kind of
That's-
thing.
My
That's
only
why
concern
I
is-
laugh so much when people are like get really upset about the Linus Tech Tips video series. I'm like, yeah. I mean, they just didn't both go with Mint because they wanted to try different stuff.
you know,
Like, if they had both chose Linux Mint, literally just look at Luke's experience versus Linus's. Like, it's so wild. Like,
When
I
Luke will
watch-
finish something in 30 seconds, and Linus takes like 25.
you know, and
It's so
I
bad.
think the big difference between those two is Luke knows how to read, Linus doesn't. Because like,
Well,
geez,
yeah.
look at what he did for with Papa
I mean,
Westbro. He
within,
would have taken
what, 1
5
minute-
seconds to read it.
Within like 2 minutes, he managed to point his system where it wouldn't even boot.
Yeah.
I don't know. That
be
seems like a holier than thou
It is.
standpoint on it. Because
Exactly.
to me, like, if I just didn't know what it was asking, like, my argument for this is always come back and be like, don't you guys know Windows users? They don't like exactly read pop-ups. So a terminal prompt is exactly the same thing. It's like, yep,
Are you sure you want to do this? Then you have
Yes,
to type.
I'm sure.
I have to type I am sure. Dude,
See-
it literally says, "Are you sure?" If you're sure,
Yeah.
then to do
and
that.
this is not
I mean,
this is
come
not a
on,
dig
man.
on Windows users. It's just a statement that the majority of people using computers are not developers, and they assume developers just ask you dumbass questions. So you're like, I have to go past this. So if that's what you do, and then it deletes the desktop environment, you go, oh my god, these developers, wow. Even Pop OS said that yes, that shouldn't have been possible. Should he have read it? Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
outrageous that he didn't?
Yeah.
Actually, no. Like, it's really not. Like,
We will
the
have
amount-
a difference of opinion.
I
Okay.
honestly think he's more intelligent than that, and he's coming from an angle where he's kind of throwing shade on it on purpose, in my opinion. Sorry, that's
Yeah,
That's
you're
just-
probably
that's-
right. But
honestly that's my opinion on that one.
well, but why
the
would
only
he
thing I
throw
like about Linus Tech Tips personally
Because it's not
is
the
fact
cool
that
thing.
He's goofy. He's funny. He breaks
What?
shit.
That's what he does.
Well, I don't think he's goofy, he's funny. I think he's actually clumsy. Like, I've seen him drop shit. Like, he's
Yeah.
just clumsy. Like,
That too. Well,
Right.
let,
and-
let,
but that's besides the point. Like, I don't think there's any real reason to like hate on the dude, because I don't think he was coming at it. Like, I also don't understand how he could hate like Linux. Like, why would he have any reason to dislike Linux?
Well, I guess he has ADHD. Really,
The
the
really
same
bad.
reason that people talk smack about PC gamers when they play on their PS5. They just do that. It's a gamer culture thing.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
part
I
of the
wouldn't
culture,
play
man.
any game on a console. They just ain't got the power on one.
the
so.
NVIDIA and AMD.
People are tribal. That's what they do.
Yeah. We are
Well,
trying.
I'm going to try to put Mint on tonight, and we'll see how everything works out. I just want something that will handle my NVIDIA drivers so that I can render quickly, and something that my audio sounds good. And I mean, I don't mind learning a tool. I just don't want to learn 15 tools. I want to learn one tool and I want to get good with it, and then just, you know what I mean? So if that's Nix, Mint, whatever, and I also don't want to have to ask a ton of questions. I want something that when somebody says go read the manual, I can actually go read the manual.
Don't use
You know,
Nix.
It's
Don't
also-
use Nix, dude.
I mean, no one's going to tell you to go RTFM in Nix, but yeah,
No.
there's also not going to be a manual that's
It's
just like
literally the opposite of that.
straightforward. Yeah.
And you know, I think a side effect of that is I like the community better in Nix than a lot of other communities. I felt that it was more welcoming and people helped me out a lot more, man. I don't know. Maybe that's just like a blessing in disguise kind of, you know, a side effect of not having great documentation. Kind of lean on each other a little more, you know.
Well, and also there's also some really not bad positions out there for Nix OS and Nix related positions. So if you get
do you
into
mean?
it, like it, you can go into a field like that.
And make
So-
money on it.
Yes.
Well, I
Like,
mean, I could deploy a freaking fleet of something so easily now.
mhm.
And I'm not like you. I mean, you're like next 3 levels up on the, you know, you could be developing programs and stuff. You're learning the language and everything and using flakes. But even with my level of ability, I could literally deploy, I mean, literally a fleet, you know.
Well, I mean, like you say, I'm like so high on this, like wrong. But if we're being honest with each other, I've used it for months. Like
Well,
I'm not a seasoned person, and but that to be honest too, that's saying something. Like
I
you
think
can
you're just
you can go
you're
very
savvy
far.
and you learn quick and you're a smart kid, man. That's it.
Well, I do like learning, but yeah.
I see Alex is still trying so hard to get his mic working.
Oh, man, he does not give up. So we're going to see this the rest of the stream. I'm just saying.
That's okay.
Hey, we can like record it. Like we'll have it like record this and like make like a whole like little show out of it. You know, like have different episodes. You know, episode 1, the first attempt. Episode 2, the second attempt, just so on and so forth. Until at the very end, he's screaming in rage and just like throwing things.
So you're a moderator, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, I can't unmute him because he's the host.
Oh.
Yeah, I already tried.
Hey, is there a possibility that you muted your actual browser? You know, you can accidentally do that, right?
Yeah, that's right. And he's using Brave, I think, but
Yeah,
Firefox.
any Chromium based thing, you can if you
Yeah,
accidentally
tab.
click on the icon on the wrong spot, it can mute you. It can mute all your sound.
Actually, I can tell you right where it's at.
Yep.
Look at the tab to the right, all the way over towards the end of it. There'll be a little microphone right there, and if you click it, it mutes the whole thing.
Yep.
You know, Associate Minister and Reserve Deacon, he just
But he
touched on something we were talking about the other day, and he says the experience of Linux Tech Tips is why I use 6 different dictionaries on my phone. Vocabulary is the biggest reason people make mistakes.
Yeah, that's a large reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree.
Well, when you guys talk about
I don't know.
rebuilding
I saw
something,
this is going to uninstall.
I have
your
no idea
desktop.
what you're talking about, but you just said, you know, you're changing some settings and restarting the system, right? That's rebuilding, right?
Well, it's a reference to one of the commands that you use in NixOS, the rebuild switch command, right? So when you make changes to your configuration, you do that afterwards to rebuild your system. So it's almost like wiping and reloading your computer every time. It's kind of crazy, actually.
Hey, did
Yeah.
anybody tell Alex to make sure to go down to the microphone where the little down arrow thing is, click it, and make sure he's on the right microphone? Oh,
We've
you
already
did?
done that.
And you did check the browser to make sure you had permissions, and then up on the very top on the tab to make sure you didn't click that thing to mute it.
Hey, Alex, make sure it's plugged in.
No, this has
We
something to
should
do
call
with
tech
Rumble.
support. We should call
It
tech
probably
support.
does. Like,
I'm pretty sure. Remember what happened to me earlier? Wasn't that crazy? It was like it let me in, even let me be in a moderator. He made me a moderator,
Yeah,
and I didn't have my icon. Remember?
I'm gonna see if I can promote you.
And then, so all of a sudden, I was just sitting here,
Nope, I
and the
can't.
screen just went. Pum. Oh, log in to do a live stream. I'm all, what? Log into Studio. I'm like, okay. So I log in, and then I'm no longer in the stream.
Alex, restart Pipewire.
There's no options to select the mic.
I'm gonna send him a message that's actually gonna upset him. I know
I'm
for a
wondering
fact.
if it's just.
You
I
know he
wonder
can
if
hear you,
Pipewire
right?
stopped.
Hold
That's
on,
why
hold
it
on.
wouldn't
Let me
really
see if
use
I
it.
can show it. All right,
That's
this
very
looks
odd.
crazy,
You
but
can share your screen if you want.
oh, I can't even resize this.
That
Hold
is
on.
an option. So
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
you
see
can't
it. It's a
resize it,
problem.
and you can't go full screen with it when someone shares their screen. It's just tiny little box.
ew.
Yeah, it's
Ew.
kind of pointless.
Yeah, it is kind of pointless. That's more than kind of pointless. That is pointless.
Yep.
I do like this though. It says total 9 people watching, 3 on Rumble, 1 on looks
Locals.
locals, 5 on YouTube, 0 on X, and 0 on Facebook.
Yeah, that's okay. We're not
How you
popular
on
over there.
oh, you guys aren't on Twitch, are you?
I don't think we have an account, but like, I could
Honestly,
tell. We might.
Big Daddy, what did you just send him?
I'll need to talk
Yeah.
to
You
Alex.
got him emotional over there. What is?
I want to see what you said. Yeah, what you said.
I can hear him
Hold on.
laughing. He's
Hold on. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm sharing.
nope.
You guys can't see my camera.
No.
Did you tell him to turn it off? and turn
Scroll,
it back?
like on the bottom part. You may have to scroll to see me.
Nope.
Nope, it's not there.
You can't see me. I'm called Big Daddy.
Yeah, I see you.
All we see is
Yeah,
a
you're
green
not here.
thing with the B in there.
That's it. No camera. You didn't turn the camera on, bud.
Yeah,
Nope,
bud.
I've got my camera on.
Bud.
But this is so
You
weird.
wanna
It's
know
on
the
on
answer,
my
man?
end. It's going. I literally see my camera like and me with y'all in the squares.
Oh,
Bruh.
Zany,
Yeah.
go to the lounge in Discord and log out of the lounge.
Yep.
I'll
Well,
bet you
I already
that's it.
removed. Removed my disc or my camera as a source from there.
Okay, but also I was telling
You might have it captured.
Alex the
Yeah.
same thing. Even though he's muted in Discord, it might be taking over his mic. Still,
It might be.
Yeah, turn Discord off completely.
yeah.
Okay, kill Discord, Alex. Let's
I've
find out.
completely killed Discord.
it does that to my camera.
Now go turn your camera on. I bet it comes on.
I have.
Bruh.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
I've completely left.
I think Rumble just thinks that Tyler's good looks are just going to like hurt us because when he gets so jealous that we're just going to just leave. We're just not going to come back. That's what it
Shit,
is.
me.
We know that's why.
terrible. Well, but anyway, I sent him a picture of Rumble's like layout with like an arrow, like a red arrow pointing with the microphone button circled.
We're going to give him so much shit. He's not going to do this
Oh.
anymore.
I know.
So the guy-
Like, I knew as
I
soon
think it's good.
as soon as he saw it, he was like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, hey! At least it's not OBS issues this time.
That is true. That
I'm
is
just saying. Oh, and you know, Alex likes to talk a lot, so like this is actually kind of nice.
I mean, is Alex like, all of a sudden running a Windows program or something? Maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe he's secretly running Windows.
Alex, we talked about this. Uninstall Norton. Get Norton off.
Alex, did you download that Word doc from your email again? We've told you so many times you cannot get free Bitcoin. That's not how that works.
How many times do we have to tell you? There are no local Russian girls in your area.
Did you mean
Oh,
Cuban?
wait, now that might not be true. He does live in the Seattle area, so they got all kinds of people over there.
This is
Not like Spokane where I live.
Hey, Alex, I got to be real with you, man. With your age, you can't be going to those strip
Yeah, I
clubs
have
and
to
being like,
switch
"Hey,
as well.
let's go do this." You're going to get punished by the browser just like this. It's the universe paying you back. You should learn from
Strip
this.
clubs, I go to them. I'm old. I've gone to them. Not recently, but still.
Uh,
I don't know. Like if you want a really good experience, just go to a nice strip club at 2:00 on a Tuesday.
It was about $500. Don't forget your money because you're going to need it.
I don't know. I've genuinely been to a strip club one time and I was like, not for me. Like,
well, I've been.
You get COVID. Yes. No, you get
Yeah.
cooties. You get cooties. That's why I don't go to strip clubs. I stay away from cooties. Gross, icky. No. So
girl cooties, you.
girl
How do I
cooties.
best
Ew.
put this? Some of the most fun I had in my life was dating strippers. I gotta tell you.
Are we sure we should be having this conversation? Don't forget, we are live on YouTube.
It's okay. They're not gonna. Don't
It's not. I'm
naked
not
chicks
sure
on
this
the
is even
screen.
allowed. To be honest, Alex, yes or no? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Do you think we'd get in trouble for this one?
We got a finger.
Well,
in
I
the
mean,
head.
if
You
we're going to
get
go down
COVID
this route, we
club.
might as well just agree to having a relationship discussion after this.
Oh boy. I mean,
Demonetized. So, oh no, they're taking your coinage. Uh-oh.
right. And Tyler, we got stop telling people about Alex and yours relationship. I thought that was supposed to be a private secret. Dang.
Hey, I wasn't saying. I was just saying we were going to talk about relationships if we went down this route. But like,
Right. But
now
it
that you
always
brought it
seems
out in
to-
the open, I guess we got to talk about it.
Yeah,
By
I
the
guess
dollar.
so. Damn it.
Real quick, Alex, to your statement about the big C word there. We won't say it because you'll get demonetized. I've had it 3 times. Walk in the park. I'd have gone to work. So I ain't worried about catching it there.
Russian.
Mail order bride. Oh, DistroTube's here.
You are absolutely correct.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's probably fine.
I
think this is probably perfect. I think it's actually what YouTube wants for like. I mean,
Probably.
I don't know about you, but I personally wouldn't want to work with network partnerships that aren't interested in this kind of conversation. I mean, Cat
I think if we
Williams.
just change it from Russian to Ukrainian mail order brides, we'll be good.
That
Oh,
might be
that's
okay.
right.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Actually, we'll probably get funding. That'd probably.
Yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, the U.S. government's going to show up and go, here, have $150 million. You talked about Ukraine.
It's like, look, we said we only needed like $800. It's like, yes, but look, we over budgeted a little bit. $150 million is what we have on the pallets. I need you to sign here. It's like, what?
The Ishit Associate Minister and Reserve Deacon, Mr. Terry Jones, is that if he switches, it kills the stream.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. Yes.
And we played hell just getting it to work. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the plan is just aligned to where we got all the streaming platforms to run at once. So
Which I didn't even know
all
if
things
YouTube
being,
allowed
it's
that.
not so bad. Like I think the streaming platform is really kind of slick. Actually,
This is
there might be
pretty
some
great.
little bugs here and there, but I think it's pretty slick.
You know.
I know YouTube for a time didn't allow multi-streaming. Is it totally fine now?
I don't know.
I mean,
We're
that's a
doing it.
genuine
So
question.
stream on Rumble and it's going over to YouTube. So I'm surprised YouTube hasn't had a freaking fit yet.
they probably don't care.
Yeah, I would assume not, but
They're too busy attacking people like me who run an ad blocker that actually works.
Absolutely.
you
You
evil person
Oh
running
my
an
god!
ad blocker.
How
Like
dare you.
what?
My
You want to
name-
go read? What you want to go read an article and see the words?
Go
You
get
don't
the
want to
belt.
see. You don't want to see a Tide commercial.
Yeah.
What?
Go to the
You
corner.
wouldn't steal a car, would you?
I'm a snuggle man myself.
Oh. How are you?
Still have not seen that message pop up. Turn your ad blocker off.
Oh, I have. It's very
I haven't
annoying.
gotten it.
But the thing that's hilarious about it is it only happens in Google Chrome.
Yes. I've noticed
Nobody
that too.
sees how screwed up that is, right? Like, or does everybody see how screwed
Well,
up that
I
is?
see it so screwed up. When I deleted Google Chrome, my computer actually ran better. It's
Wait,
on improvement.
I'm sorry. Like, what part of Google is messed up? Like, at this
Every part.
point,
Okay.
exactly. Like, like, is it the fact that they're an actual legal monopoly? Is it like, where do
You
we
know-
start at the list of problems with Google?
I think it'd be easier to say what they don't have problems with.
I actually think-
Exactly.
I think we're looking at the wrong thing altogether. I think we should be talking about Alphabet Inc., not Google.
Well, if we start talking about Alphabet Inc., like how many subsidiaries down do you want to discuss tonight? Like, so, like, how many evil, like, places are they trying to get you? Do you want to talk about tonight? Because Alphabet owns a lot of stuff.
They do.
So
I mean, they
I'm
can't
sure
get that in
some of it
Microsoft.
funds like a nonprofit that like feeds the homeless.
Rue 79X. Oh,
Speaking of Google Chrome, I
that's a
noticed
hot take,
something
man.
about-
Ooh,
I noticed
spicy
something
take.
about Google Chrome. When I run 4K, and I go with this back when we could play 4K videos
Mhm.
on YouTube, it would pause under Chrome, and I get the little circle. It'd buffer, and then it would go, and then it would buffer, or it'd be jerky. I thought that was weird. Well, I finally reinstalled Firefox, got that set up. All of a sudden, I can play 4K videos with no problem.
You know
That's
what your
a great something too.
you know what your problem is?
I was dumb enough to use Chrome.
I was gonna say you're using Google Chrome.
Not anymore.
Use Vivaldi if you want something like Chrome
Well,
that works
but-
well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but then we got to talk about the fact that Mozilla is becoming Google. Like,
Yeah.
I want you to understand a company that for a long time said that they were for the freedom of the internet and free speech recently had a discussion about how they were going to censor people.
You see, here's the thing though. They're still a company. They got to make money.
What does that mean?
Crap. They're
What?
not making crap.
That's
you know
like-
that, right?
That-
Like,
Okay, that's okay. All right. Do you
have a-
understand how insane that is? Because this is going to be a wild comparison, and it's only to make the point. Just understand.
Okay.
Only to make the point. That is exactly what a slave owner would have said about slavery ending. Like, don't you want cheap goods?
Oh,
Don't you
boy.
like? Don't you want to avoid all of that stuff? Like, again, just a drastic comparison, just to
that's
make
a
the
bad
point.
comparison. Like that. That's like on a whole
Well-
other level. That's like me walking up, taking a candy from a baby, and saying I just mugged somebody. Like,
I love
Like-
doing that. They
Well-
can't do anything. They just sit there and watch you eat their candy. Little stupid babies.
No life, you're one of them meanies on Halloween, aren't you?
I got
no. He's the one who dresses up like the baby. That's what he does.
they don't know what's coming. I'm just down there like so where is that conversation where Firefox and I'm from Mozilla, I just kind of Googled it or not Googled, whatever. Looked for it. Can you tell us the kind of the content of that conversation about how they were going to censor people?
Well, I know they announced an article. Hold on, let me try to look it up. Mozilla content, not security policy, content, or I don't know, censorship. Let's see.
This was after they got their new CEO, right?
That yes. So
Okay,
Mozilla
gotcha.
Foundation is trying to silence harmful content. All I know was this was like there's a conversation. Where is this? This is over on Discourse at Mozilla. Um, uh, I just know they started blocking and talking about removing harmful content, things along hate speech lines, like all of that stuff. And to me, I don't think a browser like
A browser
what
shouldn't do that. And
like
as much as I dislike hate speech,
oh, just so you know, you're muted, low light.
Thank you. So I've got on the blog mozilla.org. They have their headline is we need more than just a platform.
We need just more than what?
We need more than the platform. And they're talking about we need to take people's money, we need to censor people, we need to do all kinds of stuff. So you're right. And that was the CEO of Mozilla that said so.
he'll just end up killing his browser. There's
Well,
plenty of them out
well,
there we
but
can
see,
go to.
please enlighten me. Which ones?
Is Brave better?
Brave is Chrome.
Oh,
Like
well,
that's the
if you want to
problem.
be total
Give me
jerks about it, we can just write our own damn browser.
No, because
That-
most of the browsers that exist are based on Chromium, which Chrome is based off of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like most like your options, if you remove Firefox bases, Chrome bases, you've got Qt
Where-
Web Engine. That's pretty much your only other real option.
WebKit? Is that considered
Well,
the same?
I mean, you also yes, but both are not nearly as robust options.
Right.
You need a really solid rendering engine to build a web browser, and trying to do what Chrome has done. I mean, they've had top level engineers working at their shit for forever, and they can scoop up whoever they want out of any highly educated pool. So trying to compete with him is just you can't do it. And
Hey, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
Hey, DT, Cortana doesn't exist anymore. Now it's Copilot. Just so you know.
You should bring DT in on this.
Oh, you know what? All you guys and your Chrome and your, you don't use links. Come on, man.
I mean, hey, Lynx
Oh
is
my God.
actually pretty freaking great.
I got
Well,
links
hold on.
installed. I use it.
Okay, see,
When I'm not
this is my
feeling my
problem
body.
when we start having this conversation, because this is absolutely ridiculous. No, none of y'all use links on a real, actual basis because here's my argument. Here's my
I'm
argument.
glad you caught my sarcasm.
Because if you did Amphora and Gemini and stuff, because that actually was a really good idea. Like, make the internet simple again, share it, like, because I mean, you can do a whole bunch of type posting with it. You can do a lot of cool things with it. You can make a search engine. You can still do a lot of stuff with it. Interest died really fast in it. Like, people want a very complex, like very graphical internet. Like, that's what they want. And I don't know. Like, I don't think you can replace that with anything that just removes images. Like, especially with the way the internet's moving. Like,
But here's the thing. So, Lynx is great if all you need is basically HTML pages loaded, right? Essentially, that's what you're using it for. But and my thing I love so much about Lynx is if you're in, let's say, a distribution without a GUI at the time, it's really solid and it works well. It's very easy to navigate. I've had to use it when I've installed Gentoo, or if I need to go look up something on Arch, I've done it. So it's just kind of like, it definitely fits that use case. If you're just somebody who, you're going to be on a
It
GUI.
absolutely does. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I was just kidding around.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
talking directly to Tyler on that because, he'd be salty.
I wouldn't argue that it doesn't have a very good use case, but if it was something that you could actually use on a daily basis and get away with and enjoy, people would be doing it. There's, I mean, maybe 4 dudes who run that all the time, maybe, everyone else has to visit one, JavaScript filled WebGL website. Like,
Oh man,
you
make me almost feel like we're talking about what's it called? Ice Weasel? No. It's
that's
a
terrible, but yes.
GNU.
Oh,
The
GNU
GNU
Cat?
Fire. Yeah, GNU Ice
GNU
Cat.
Cat.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can actually build the modern version of IceCat or Firefox with the IceCat patches. Still, by the way, I've done it. It's not worth it. I'll tell you that much.
No. I'll pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a whole extension just to break JavaScript. It's great.
I mean, if people wanted to get together and make a new browser that was like open source and like one to compete with Google, I really don't know how you do it.
It would probably be based on WebKit, likely. Good, right? There's already the beginnings of.
Well, but I mean,
other
like
projects.
I'm thinking about it practically. Like, so you'd have to like start a nonprofit, like have to get
Yeah.
funding, then try to like maybe petition to the government to like, hey, so Google's a bad dude. Will you give us money so that they're not a monopoly and like we can develop something? And then like, yeah, I mean, there's so many steps involved that like, yeah, I
mean,
highly doubt we see a day where there's a competitor to Google that's like open source in the browser space.
I agree with you because I mean, heck, if GNU couldn't do it, who can?
I thought Firefox was open source and you could download the source code.
I mean, it is, but it's becoming ran like the actual development of Firefox is becoming just as untrustworthy as Google's. Like Google's at the very least, yes, with Firefox you can see what they're doing. But if you have no say in what they do you want to go edit Firefox source code? Like I don't. You probably don't. Huh?
That would be a lot of code to look through.
Exactly. Like I don't want to do that just to like make sure they don't remove like I don't know, like even though I'm not interested, but like let's just say they start removing like CNN from like certain CNN articles and I have to go in and like remove those blocks or whatever. Like
right.
Am I really going to go do that? No. Right.
So Alex over here is saying Google is the devil. I love it.
DistroTube says once Microsoft Edge fully integrates AI into Edge, the browser wars will be
over. I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is at some point the web browser itself is going to no longer, at least in the current form, is not going to be really a thing, honestly, because what do we use web browsers for? I mean, just think about it like Brainstorm. We typically use it to find information, right? And then we just have all these AI assistants these days. At some point, we're just going to talk to them, and we're going to be so lazy that we just open up our phone. Hey, can you tell me how to do this? Okay. We're just going to trust it and then go do it.
Well, I mean, I do see a future where eventually your browser is one with the operating system. It is either that or essentially like your window manager. Mm-hmm. Like your browser controls everything about like how things are displayed to your system and all that stuff. I can totally see that one day.
I mean,
kind of like Conqueror.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Conqueror.
Yes. The problem is I don't like that feature if it's all controlled by Google. I mean, do you know how shit Google is? Like,
right.
I mean, do you know how many programs and services will just die? Like,
I mean, there's a reason they have a website literally all about all the stuff they killed. So, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have good intention.
I mean, from what you're saying, Tyler, I agree. I mean, they already have an example of something like that. That's essentially what Chrome OS is.
But I think
that really kind of irritates me about Chrome OS too, because they make it difficult to install a different OS on those machines because they BIOS lock it, and you have to flash the damn BIOS to be able to put Linux on it or Windows or whatever you want. I don't know. Those Chromebooks, they're kind of a pain.
I mean, I think it's kind of good that we're getting rid of a BIOS or UEFI made by Google. That's, I mean,
Well, I agree with
that's the
that.
solution, man. Core boot for the win.
Yes.
So Rue 79X
Well,
says
I
the thing
mean-
with Google is that it's convenient and ubiquitous for lazy people like me. I'm with you, Rue 79X. I'm just trying not to be
Yes.
there anymore.
Well,
I
that's
do all my
that's
searches with other stuff before I go to Google, and then if I can't find what I'm looking for, I bite the bullet and go to Google.
well. Eventually, there's going to have to be some kind, like there would have to be some kind of social movement towards stuff that is open source or freedom respecting, and I don't see that happening right now. Like as a full scale social movement, I don't see it happening right now. I do see it as a very near future, but like I don't see it happening now. Um, and I mean, it also comes back to my point earlier, like I was making with that drastic example. Like these companies for money give up a lot of ethics and morals, and it's very hard to create a system where you don't have the option to do that. And most companies benefit heavily by going towards the more greedy aspect. And I don't know, anything that becomes ubiquitous, easy to use, convenient for everyone, I don't think it's necessarily good to have the driving factor behind that be greed. Like
can
I
agree
mean,
with
it,
that.
it can be
Well,
it can
I tell
be
you what.
making a sustainable living, but like an actual publicly traded company is beholden to its shareholders. If they don't do
Yep.
everything they can to make more money than they did last year, they get fired. So it's literally their job to make more money. So you
I
have
feel
to
like
give up
this
your
is a
ethics.
problem that's it's ubiquitous. It's not just in the tech industry. I see it in the recovery side of things as well. There are just big organizations that are willing to do harm in order to make that money. And
Well, yeah,
I
big
believe in
pharma's
profit
another
motive all
one.
day. I think profit motive is great. But when you're willing to do harm in order to get that profit, because I think you get a great product, but
Well,
You know,
depends
that
but
on how
reminds me
you
of Big
define
Pharma right
quality,
there.
right?
Big Pharma is like that. They don't care. You'll
that's
die.
all big businesses. Any publicly traded business does at a point become solely responsible for money. That's it, making more money. And that's the problem. And I mean, really, the reason why it should be a relevant conversation for like people like us in the tech space is eventually people are going to realize that most movements, social, start in this space, start on a tech platform, start on a social space in tech. Like it moves outwards. If there is a social movement towards moving towards wholly like more ubiquitously open source platforms, that's a good thing. And it's a good thing, and it's a good movement to start now. Like it's much better that it happened now. And I don't know that I see a lot of people pushing for the actual realization of that. I see like a lot of people doing what I'm doing exactly right now, and I'll call myself a hypocrite. Like talking about it, but not doing any real steps to make that happen.
Right.
So if you start by building a community with that interest, and then you pick a project and start building maybe the infrastructure or the foundation for something, because that's what a lot of these people do, is they'll war game something out until they come up with a scenario that works. And once that scenario happens, boom, they roll off a bunch of plans that they have. You can kind of use that thinking where you build a community, build people with interest, and make a foundation for when something happens, and then you sell that idea. Because I think it's a great idea. I like open source everything.
Well, but I don't. see, the problem is again, it comes down to like a social movement. I don't know how you could possibly keep, or I don't know how you could possibly start something like creating something as strong and as competitive as Google, because part of that comes down to infrastructure. And I don't know how you can do that with something like a nonprofit that has to compete with a publicly traded company like that, who has access to resources and can do things more questionable than you can. Like,
Well, what about like DuckDuckGo? So their goal was to just have something that was good and not really necessarily compete with Google.
well, and
They
that's,
use Bing.
I'm glad that that's their mentality, because it couldn't compete at all. It's a quite terrible search engine. So,
Well, I don't think governments can compete with Google. Right? I
Well-
don't think there's anybody with that logistic prowess that can compete with Google. I think that's just a
well, and isn't that a problem?
yeah. That's why there are laws against it.
Well, and that's the thing. Shouldn't we address that problem first? Like, how is nobody pushing towards some kind of, like, there has to be some way that you can get politicians to stop taking money from them. Like, how is it that we have a system of checks and balances, and yet we have a system that also allows politicians to take money from lobbyists, from these massive corporations, and pass laws that benefit them and keep them from being all but a legal monopoly?
Yeah.
Sure, because we're run by something called a mutual blackmail society.
Ooh, I've never heard of that
Everybody
term.
has everything on everybody else, and everybody's owned by everybody else. And I mean, that's where things like, I don't want to get into politics because I really don't talk about that stuff too much, but that's where you get things like the island that was down there, Little St. James, and all that stuff. Linkstube, he says the path to AI tech space is going down. I don't think anything can compete with Google. It's too complete, as there are multifacets to Google. That's true, unfortunately.
But I think it could one day be fixed. I just think people have to want to force it to be that way. And I think pushing for change like that's probably important, but also no one wants to deal with like legal crap. Like,
Right.
no. Ew.
So I'm not exactly sure how Wayland wound up, but he, because I don't know a whole lot about it, but Route 79X says the problem with software made by a community committee is you end up like Wayland. Years of arguments over trivial things just to get one thing worked on.
I wouldn't
I
disagree
can't
with that.
expound on that at all.
That's true.
Yeah, I
But-
think that's kind of the root of a lot of our issues here, right? I mean, good luck getting all these corporations to not basically legally bribe our Congress people. You know, that's the real issue here. Is that literally they'll fund your opponent. You know, if you disagree with whatever their earmark is.
Yeah, and they'll do it with donations.
Yeah, quote unquote donations.
Donations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes to the point of like a software committee slowing things down, I think anything that's comprised of multiple people and that has like where everyone has a fair vote is going to take a long time on issues. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem. It may be a problem for a specific issue, but in general, that's probably how you want to approach things. You probably want to spend a lot of time bickering about the small minutia because it does matter, like in the long run. Like, if people are going to keep using it for a long time, you have to make something that's actually fleshed out that people 5 years, 10 years from now are going to actually want to use and find simple. So I don't know. It kind of depends. it does slow down the growth of a project, but I wouldn't necessarily say that that's also a bad thing, because I mean, people are complaining about Wayland becoming a standard now, and I wouldn't say that project's moving at lightning speed either. As Rue pointed out, they spent a long time bickering about small issues. So,
And honestly, sometimes they're kind of stupid issues. I mean,
yes, you're not
it's
wrong.
true. It's true. But yeah. Wow. You know, look at Alex over there. He's smiling and wonder what he's thinking about. I mean, dang. Oh,
we
I
want to move
know.
this back over to Discord, or we want to.
I think we should keep
You guys,
going.
I can talk forever, dude. I'm shutting myself up.
Dude, I got
Well,
it.
what about this? Just so Alex can talk for the rest of the conversation, why don't we move it to Discord, but we call it the after show?
You know, I'm down. I agree.
That's a good idea.
For everything that we probably shouldn't talk about on platform.
Right.
Discord.
Right.
I mean,
And like,
Yeah.
It's not like we're actually that. I have to be honest, as a group, like, we're probably one of the most real. Like, we don't. I mean, even when it comes to like things like politics, pretty much everyone in this conversation would start off a conversation like that, being like, "I don't want to talk about this. I normally don't." Like, we can kind of like pass over this section.
hey, Mr. Mod, you need to add you need to add the link in the chat, please. Yeah, you
There
did
it is.
it. Yeah, Mr. Mod. Woo woo.
But join
Thanks,
our
guys. This was a lot of fun.
Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, join the
I'm
Discord.
confused. Do I need to download Discord or 2x Discord?
Hey, we just have a whole new platform called Discord. It's just, it's superior to Discord. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. We
It's
like
just
recreate
successful
better
Discord.
Discord, but we write it in like some crazy language like brain fuck, and we call it Discord.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, we changed the UI to make it where you have an overlay of Discord, but backwards on top of the original one, just so you can't read anything. That's what makes it better.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
you know what else works in our version of Discord? Streaming. That's right. You can stream on Wayland. Not only that, your audio works too.
Right.
Wait, hold on. You mean we do the impossible development task of figuring out the elegant science of updating the Electron version?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's it.
I'm sorry, boys, but I'm not a level 6, 9 coder, so I'm not going to be able to do this.
And this is when you go to ChatGPT and you say, "Please make me."
You stole the
You have
words
to
from
start
my
off
mouth.
your you have to start off your message to ChatGPT with, "Hello, Mr. ChatGPT. Today I would like to ask you."
And like you gotta write like a whole novel and stuff, Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, folks. I will see you over
See
in
y'all.
Discord. Everybody have a good night.
Good
All
night.
right. See you guys in Discord. Or see you in Discord.
Good night.
Boy,
Are we
guys.
going back to Discord then, or
We are going to
Yep,
Discord.
See
Go ahead and
y'all.
join the
Yeah,
server if you
there.
want to join in, peoples, by the way.